Hi everyone, Patrick here and also a bit of Salty Patrick today, but today's video will be SFF Spotlight episode 35. Now, if you have been following my YouTube channel and also my SFF Spotlight videos, you will probably notice that I post an SFF Spotlight episode once every 2 weeks. But sometimes, occasionally, there are days or weeks where there are just too many news already in a week, like today, because today I'll be talking about more than 20 topics in today's episode, even though only a week has passed by since my previous episode. And yeah, I do not think I can wait for another week because that would mean probably 40 topics in one video, and that's just too crazy. So yeah, today's video I will be talking about probably around 20 topics, and just like usual, this will be where I spotlight new cover reveals, new special edition, new book news, and new noteworthy release in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. So yeah, I will just start immediately, and I will start by talking about, well, some of the news that I'm most excited about first regarding book news. And the first one, if you have seen my tweet last week, this will be it. Yeah, this is about The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. So on her Facebook page, Robin Hobb gave this update. She was talking about how her email doesn't work, about farming, and then at the end of the post, she mentioned that she is currently writing a new Realm of the Elderlings book. And B, you will know who B is if you have read the last 3 books in the Realm of the Elderlings. You will know who she is. Yeah, B will be in the book. And yeah, this is a confirmation that she is writing a new book in the Realm of the Elderlings. And I am so excited about this. The Realm of the Elderlings is one of my top favorite series of all time. I think many of you know about that already. But at the same time, I'm also scared because Assassin's Fate, the final book in the Realm of the Elderlings, the 16th book in the series, well, it closed the series very satisfyingly. It is one of the most satisfying and emotional ending that I have ever read. Having another book in the Realm of the Elderlings would probably mean either this is another super great book, or it could be a disappointment. Robin Hobb is not safe from that, just like my thoughts on the Rainwild Chronicles Quartet. But again, I will keep my hopes up. I will try to stay positive, but I'm also scared that something will happen to be in this new book. Hopefully not, but knowing Robin Hobb, well, she will probably go through another emotional ringer. But yeah, this is something that I'm excited about. If you are a fan of the Realm of the Elderlings, let me know whether you are excited about this news or not. And the second piece of news, this will be related to M.L. Wang's newest book, Blood over Brighthaven. Now, in my video review of Blood over Brighthaven, the newest Dark Academia standalone fantasy novel by M.L. Wang, I posted that review back when it was still an advanced reading copy state, so no official release yet. It hasn't been officially released to the public. And back then, there wasn't any physical copy yet. So I was quite surprised seeing so many people asking, where is the physical copy and all that. And now I can finally say and confirm the physical copy, both the paperback and also the hardback edition of Blood over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang is available to purchase. And the cover art of the hardback edition will feature a different cover art. This time, it is illustrated by Nix Aurelia, while the ebook and also the paperback edition will have this cover art that is done by M.L. Wang herself. I think the cover art by M.L. Wang is great, but the hardback cover art by Nix Aurelia looks even better. But that's not all. On top of that, Blood over Brighthaven, the ebook copy of Blood over Brighthaven on Amazon US, along with many other self-published fantasy books, well, they are discounted to $0.99 from the 18th, which is today, until the 22nd of August. So yeah, if you want to read Blood over Brighthaven and many other self-published fantasy books listed in the list, well, this is your chance to get them at a huge discount. And I personally highly recommend Blood over Brighthaven. It is one of my favorite books of the year. And of course, I am a huge fan of M.L. Wang, as some of you probably know already. And if you haven't read Blood over Brighthaven or even The Sword of Kaigan, please give them a read. They are absolutely amazing standalone fantasy novels. And the next topic will be again relating to a discount, but this one will be for an Omnibus edition. This will be for Keeper Origins Omnibus by Janice Andrews, and this book will be free. Yes, the ebook copy, the ebook omnibus copy of the entire Keeper Origins trilogy will be free until tomorrow. I don't know whether this is only on Amazon US or maybe this applies to all Amazon, but try to take a look. But wherever you are, try to take a look because Janice Andrews, her books constantly gain many positive reviews, and I will be starting one of her books quite quite likely pretty soon, probably next month or in October. I will start from her first book, A Thread of Shadows. And The Keeper Origins is a prequel series that is published after The Keeper Chronicles. So just like the Rhyria Revelations and also the Rhyria Chronicles by Michael J. Sullivan. And moving on to the next topic, because I just talked about Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang, the hardcover edition, this next piece of news will be again for another hardback edition. But this will be for the Dragon's Blade Trilogy by Michael R. Miller. Yeah, this is for an entire omnibus done in one hardcover edition. The cover art is done by Chris McGrath. I have no idea who is doing the naked hardcover here, but it looks pretty stunning. Now, some of you might know about Michael R. Miller through his books right now, Ascendant, Unbound, and also Defiant. So the Songs of Chaos series. But before that, he has released the Dragon's Blade trilogy. And so this hardcover omnibus edition will be for that trilogy. I personally look forward to reading that trilogy because it's completed already, but before that, I think just like everybody else, I will start reading Ascendant first, and I hope to get to that either, again, just like Thread of Shadows, either next month or in October, but yeah, pretty soon. I've been itching for another Dragon Rider epic fantasy series ever since I've caught up to The Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. And one more news before we move on to talking about Kickstarter and also special edition. This one will be for the confirmation regarding the Arthurian Tales by Giles Kristian. Now, I know that Giles Kristian books, especially the Arthurian Tales, they aren't actually fantasy books, they are historical fiction about the Arthurian Tales, but I must mention this on my SFF Spotlight video. I love Lancelot. Lancelot is one of my favorite books, and then the standalone spin-off sequel, Camelot, is also great. The third and the final book in the Arthurian Tales has been confirmed to be titled Arthur, and it will be released in 2024. So if you are a fan of Lancelot or Camelot like me, now you know Arthur is coming in 2024. Arthur by Giles Kristian. So that's it for the section of book news. Now let's talk about special editions. I will start by spotlighting two Kickstarter projects first. And the first one will be for The Other Magic by Derrick Smythe. The link to the Kickstarter campaign of The Other Magic by Derrick Smythe is available now. Now, the Kickstarter campaign hasn't gone live yet. It will go live at the end of the month. But I think the special edition is looking pretty stunning. The cover art is done by Madeline Design. It will have an interior artworks by Omer Burak Onal. And then the special edition will come with a new red and gold foil cover on the file leather, gray edges, new color interior map, and perhaps as an end sheet, Smithsoon binding on premium paper, brand new illustrated chapter headers, and also all the names of the backers will be printed in the acknowledgement. And yes, it is signed as well. As for the next Kickstarter project to mention today, I will have to spotlight this even though I'm feeling very salty about it. Well, in today's video, for the first time in SFF Spotlight, Salty Patrick will make an appearance, and it is for this one. So Will Wight has mentioned that the Kickstarter campaign for Cradle Book 4 until Book 6 will go live at, I think, in September. Now, that should be a good news because I own the first 3 hardcovers of Cradle. Yes, there's a premium edition of Cradle from the first Kickstarter campaign. And I think Will Wight has also confirmed, even though the Kickstarter campaign hasn't gone live yet, Will Wight has confirmed that this one will feature more interior artworks. And I think that's great. That's what's missing from the first 3 hardcovers. The first 3 hardcovers, despite their price and also despite how successful they were, they have only one unique art each book. And I think that is crazy in my opinion. And I think Will Wight is going to fix that in this next Kickstarter campaign, so that's good. But Will Wight and his team also mentioned this Kickstarter campaign will be exclusive only for the fall leather-bound edition. So not this one that you can see in my bookshelf here. This is the standard hardcover that you can now buy on Amazon, or maybe, I do not know whether this is available on other bookstores or not, but probably only on Amazon. So Will Wight is planning to make Book 4 until Book 6, and I think the rest of the series, the standard hardcover edition, available only on Amazon, not through the Kickstarter campaign. So what does this mean? Well, international reader is pretty much completely screwed unless they are willing to pay $50 per book. At least in my case, that's how it is. Because if, let's say, I want to buy unsold the hardcover edition from Amazon, I have to pay $25 for the hardcover, and then I will have to pay another $25 or even $26 for the international shipping fee. That's insane. For one book, I have to pay $50 for a standard hardcover, and I think that's just crazy. If I want to get the 3 of them, I have to pay $150. Will Wight commented on his Instagram page that, you know what, not doing the standard hardcover on the Kickstarter campaign will mean that more people will be able to access the hardcover. That is not true. You're saying this available to the public, more cheaper to the public, but in reality, it is more cheaper and accessible to US only, okay? US and probably UK readers, but international, they are screwed. Because if they want the standard hardcover edition, they will have to purchase from Amazon. So yeah, that means I will not be continuing with getting myself the hardcover copy of the rest of Cradle unless things change. But you know what? I am only one person, only one reader. I'm not trying to, well, tell all of you who want to get the fall letter edition to not get them. This is not that. But I'm just saying, if you want to make your standard hardcover accessible to many readers, then what you should do is make them available on the Kickstarter campaign as well, with discount, just like the first Kickstarter campaign, with discount on the 3 hardcovers and also shipping fee. So yeah, I apologize for that, but I really need to let my feelings out regarding that, because I think saying that it is more affordable and accessible to public is simply not true. It is more accessible and also cheaper for US and UK readers. I'm not sure whether UK is true or not, but definitely for US readers. But enough negativity, let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about some special editions. And the next special edition that I want to spotlight today will be published by Grim Oak Press, and this will be for The Summer Tree by Gavriel K. And this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Take a look at this cover art done by Julian Delval. I've been following Julian Delval for, well, I can't even remember, for a long time now, and then Grim Oak Press, Sean Spickman and Grim Oak Press just dropped this announcement that, well, The Summer Tree will be illustrated by Julian Delval, and I think it turns out pretty damn stunning. Look at it, it's beautiful. But personally speaking, I haven't read this book yet, and I'm not sure whether I am willing to invest myself that much into this book yet. But as far as cover art goes, it's absolutely beautiful, and I already own The Dragonbone Chair by Ted Williams, published by Grim Oak Press, so I have no doubt that the quality of this one will be incredible as well. So if you are a fan of Gavriel K and also The Summer Tree, now you know there is a special edition coming. And the next special edition will be for the Winterset Holo by Jonathan Edward Durham. I haven't read this one yet, but 2 of my co-bloggers have actually read the Winterset Holo. So yeah, this book is a standalone novel recommended to those who love Watership Down. And I haven't read the Watership Down as well, so yeah, feel free to judge me on that. But this one, this special edition for the Winterset Holo, will be published by Suntup, Suntup, I don't know how to pronounce that, and it will be illustrated by Maura O'Connor. I think, again, it looks beautiful. I don't own anything by Suntup Press yet, but as far as I know, they are supposedly one of the best publishers when it comes to producing a special edition. But do note that the price is not cheap. This one, of course, it's a limited edition, and the price is $135, and that's only for the, I think, for the cheapest option. There are still the numbered and also the lettered edition, which is, as far as price and I assume quality goes, they are definitely higher compared to the standard limited edition. And moving on to the next special edition, this is not fully confirmed yet, but it seems like it is very likely that there will be a new or a reprint edition of Red Rising Trilogy Fairyloot edition. I am personally not too much of a fan of this special edition. I think Red Rising Saga is a series that is absolutely amazing, and it deserves more beautiful and let's say something of the caliber of Subterranean Press when it comes to special edition for the Red Rising Saga. But I know the Fairyloot edition of Red Rising Trilogy is very much coveted by many readers, and from the Instagram story that Pierce Brown posted, it seems like, yeah, he's signing another edition of Fairyloot edition for the Red Rising novel, and I assume this will be applied to Golden Sun and Morning Star as well. Once I have confirmation on this, I will definitely feature it again on SFF Spotlight. And now moving on to the last special edition of today's video, this will be for, again, Babel by R.F. Kuang. So apparently not only the hardcover edition of Babels are getting special edition now because, well, the paperback edition is also getting a special edition now. This will be for Babel Blackwell's paperback edition. Yeah, it will comes with a new cover art, a silver cover art to Babel, which is very fitting to the book. And yeah, it will have new spray edges. But I think that's pretty much it. So if you own a copy of Babel already, unless you are a collector of all edition for Babel, I do not think it is necessary for you to get this one. But again, it is up to you. But I'm just letting you know that there will be a Blackwell's paperback edition of Babel. But that's it for the special edition section. I know, right? In a week, there are that many announcements for special edition. Now let's move on to talking about noteworthy release first, because I only have one noteworthy release to spotlight today, and that is for Esrahaddon by Michael J. Sullivan, the ebook edition for Esrahaddon, the final book in the Rise and Fall trilogy by Michael J. Sullivan, is out now. This will be the culmination of everything that Michael J. Sullivan has been writing and publishing in the world of Elon. So that includes the Rhyria Revelations, the Rhyria Chronicles, Legend of the First Empire, and finally the Rise and Fall trilogy. I still haven't read Esrahaddon yet. I blame To Green Angel Tower by Ted Williams. That book is so massive, it took me more than 2 weeks to actually finish. So yeah, because of that, I still haven't read anything else, but I am so looking forward to reading Esrahaddon. I already own the ebook copy of the book, and I look forward to reading it as soon as I can. I expect this will be one of Michael J. Sullivan's finest work. But if you want to get the, I think the hardcover or the paperback edition, I do not think it is available to purchase yet, so you might still have to wait on that. And now let's move on to the final section of today's SFF Spotlight video. This will be regarding cover reveals. The first one will be for something that I'm quite curious about. I'm quite surprised that Brandon Sanderson or Tor Books haven't done any announcement on this yet, but this will be for the new cover art for Shadows of Self. This is the second book in Mistborn Era 2, Mistborn Wax and Wane. And not only the cover art is available already, you can already get the paperback edition of this one, the trade paperback edition. This will replace the previous ugly trade paperback edition of Shadows of Self. The US edition, okay, not the UK edition. The UK edition looks pretty stunning, as always, by Sam Green. But this one, it will replace the one with the cover art done by Chris McGrath. And yeah, this will come with the new cover art, similar to the new trade paperback edition of Alloy of Law. And this will definitely be applied again to the Bands of Mourning and finally the Lost Metal. So if you want to get yourself a new trade paperback copy of the Shadows of Self, then you can do it now. And the next cover reveal will be for a new Driss novel, which apparently is out already as well. So this one will be for Lolth's Warrior, the third book in the Way of the Drow trilogy. This is the newest book in the Driss series, a series that I still haven't read. Yeah, you heard it right, I still haven't read any book in the Driss series by R.A. Salvatore yet. Yeah, but this cover art is done by David Palumbo, and I think this is the best cover art of the Way of the Drow trilogy. But there are just so many beautiful cover art in the Legend of Driss series, and I think this one, probably compared to many of them, the one done by Todd Lockwood and also many other incredible artists as well, probably is a bit lacking, but this one, I think it looks pretty good. David Palumbo is also a very well-respected artist after all. So if you are a fan of Driss and you somehow have read everything in the Legend of Driss, now you can read this newest one, well, that is out now. And let's move on to the next cover reveal. This will be for Tales of the Celestial Kingdom by Su Lin Tan. So this will be a collection of short stories in the Celestial Kingdom duology. I think some of you might know about that already. This is a very popular Asian-inspired fantasy series, and the cover art to the collection of short stories have been revealed. This will be illustrated by Kelly Chong or After Blossom Art, and it will have interior artworks by her as well. So if you are a fan of the duology, do know that this short story collection is coming. And for the final 5 topics and the final 5 cover reveals to spotlight today, all of them will be for self-published fantasy books. And the first one will be for a sci-fi actually. This will be for Saint Elspeth by Wick Welker. I have read Dark Theory by Wick Welker. I think it is a pretty great and also ambitious science fantasy novel, and I think I will have to read eventually every book published by him. I love how he integrates a scientific concept, a complex and difficult scientific concept into his narration, And I look forward to finding that out in Saint Elspeth as well, which I think will be a standalone sci-fi novel about alien contact. Cover art is done by Damonza, and if it turns out to be as good as Dark Theory, then I will be satisfied. I did the cover reveal to Saint Elspeth on my Twitter account, and I also did the cover reveal to this next one, on my Twitter account and also on my blog, Novel Notions. This will be for No Safe Haven by James Lloyd Dolan. This is the sequel to No Heart for a Thief, and this is the second book in the series, in a trilogy titled Ma Litu, which is, I think, a character-driven fantasy trilogy. I haven't read No Heart for the Thief yet, but I've heard plenty of great things about the debut novel by James Dolan, and well, I'll certainly look forward to reading this one as well. But unlike the first book, this cover art is not done by Felix Ortiz. The cover art to No Heart for the Thief was illustrated by Felix Ortiz, but this one is done by Martin Motet. But the designer is the same for the first book and the second book. Now, I'm not usually a fan of cover change, but this is not too big of a difference compared to the first one, and I think it still turned out pretty alright. Felix Ortiz is just such a busy guy, and I'm happy for his success, but this means that sometimes some authors will have to change cover artists in the middle of the series when they probably hire Felix Ortiz to be their artist for their first book of a series. And this is unfortunately one of those cases, but I think Martin Motet did an incredible job on this cover art for No Safe Haven. And the next cover art I want to spotlight, of course, will have to be for The Return to Edan by Philip Chase. Yeah, this is the third and the final book in the Edan trilogy already. I'm crazy. It's crazy how fast time flies. I've read only The Way of Edan, and I still haven't read The Prophet of Edan yet, the second book in the Edan trilogy, which I think many people who have read The Way of Edan and The Prophet of Edan, many of them agree that it is a superior book compared to the first novel in the trilogy. And hopefully The Return to Edan, which Philip Chase himself has mentioned to be his favorite of the trilogy, hopefully this one will indeed be the best of the trilogy for me when I get around to reading it. But first, I have to read The Prophet of Edan. But the cover art for the entire trilogy, all of them are illustrated by Kyra Gregory. I love the stained glass cover art, and also they are designed by Jack Shepard. Congratulations to Philip Chase for this insanely rapid publishing pace and also great cover art. And finally, for the last cover reveal and the last topic of today's SFF Spotlight episode, this will be for a new cover art done to an already released book and completed series. This will be for The Nightmare Arcanist by Shami Stovall, the first book in the 8-book series titled The Frit Chronicles. The series has been pitched to be Pokemon meet Harry Potter, and yeah, I look forward to reading this one for the first time someday. But the new cover art to Nightmare Arcanist, illustrated by Darko Paganus, looks so much better compared to the previous one. And Shami Stovall has mentioned all the books in the series will have a new cover art done by Darko Paganus. So yeah, maybe if you have read this book, if you have read this series, do let me know what you think about it. Do you think that the pitch Harry Potter meet Pokemon fit the bill of this series, and do you think I will enjoy reading it? Because usually I have a soft spot for epic fantasy or high fantasy series with a magical school trope. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of today's SFF Spotlight episode. And what did I say? Even though only a week has passed since the previous episode, there are this many topics to spotlight already. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and as always, do let me know what you think about the news that I spotlighted today. If possible, I want to do another SFF Spotlight episode probably 2 weeks from now. But again, if something like this where there are just too many news to spotlight already appear again, I will just do it again next week. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it from me today. Do let me know what you think about today's SFF Spotlight episode. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.